seem bored. Amnesia should not be played to win. Instead, focus on immersing yourself in the game's world and story. Do not worry about when and how to save during gameplay. The game will take care of that for you. When you want to leave the game, just choose save and exit. You can then use continue to return where you left off next time you start up the game. The world of Amnesia is a dangerous place and you are extremely vulnerable. Do not try to fight the enemies encountered. Instead, use your wits, hide, or even run if necessary. This is gonna be scary. I need that shit bright as fuck. I need to see everything. That is all. Hope you enjoy immersing yourself in the world of Amnesia. Bet. This shit is scary. I need it to show everything. I wish there was an easy mode like yes, I only played like 10 minutes of this game when I was younger, alone in this.
Don't forget, some things mustn't be forgotten. The shadow hunting me. I must hurry. My name is Daniel. I live in London at Mayfair. What have I done? This is crazy. Don't forget.
Huh?
Don't forget. I must stop him. Focus. My name is... I am Daniel.
Okay. My blood? Notes. Diaries. I don't know what the heck this is.
Hi, my name is Thomas Grip, and I'm one of the co-founders of Frictional Games. I worked with engine code, gameplay code, design, and many other things for Amnesia. In my commentaries, I will mainly focus on the design behind the different parts of the game. I hope you'll enjoy them.
I don't do scary ass games, man. Really fucking dope. What the shit? Fuck. 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 I fucking missed. Now that I got a toolbox, I'm gonna use that shit on the fucking.
The name of this level is Rainy Hall, and it's supposed to be a combination of atmosphere setter and tutorial for the player. We wanted the player to start the game in a slow way so they could settle in and get used to how the game works. Amnesia is not a game with constant action happening all the time, and we wanted to have a constrained map where the player gets used to this. The only thing you need to do is to follow the track and get to the end of the level. Also, following tracks is something that becomes very useful in later levels, so we try to teach players this from the start.
Ooh. Gonna be doing a lot of tracking. What's in here? Tinder. This ain't nowhere near the scary part though. It's just practice. Insane. Bro, the fact that it glitches is scarier. Fuck. Thought that shit moved. Put this boom up. It's hard to pick up the broom. We don't need to go there.
This is one of the first levels that we created for the game, and it was initially part of the archives level, which we originally did. Amnesia started out with a pretty different design, and when we redesigned it, the maps did not fit. This caused us to split them up and scatter them out. So in the first design, after this corridor, the archives level was supposed to follow, and the room lying there now was built much later. In fact, the first designs did not have Daniel waking up with an amnesia at all, and it was actually added later on. In the first story draft, Daniel still had hidden memories, but he was unaware of this at the start of the story. However, as we redesigned things, we found the waking up with amnesia thingy, although a bit cliché, much more fitting.
Let me use a tinderbox on these bitches. Need to keep me sane. It's gonna be me just. At first I thought I had to get up there. Big ass chest for a tinderbox. Alright, which I should listen to first. Introduction? Oh, it's Luis Rodero.
Hi there, my name is Luis Rodero. I'm mostly the tool programmer, level scripter at times, and perhaps the main reason why the rest of the core team at Fictional Games is pretty much forced to speak English at our internal meeting, as I am the only non-Swede here. Now, what a Spaniard is doing with a bunch of Swedish guys is a whole different story we won't be discussing today. By the way, I will be talking mostly about tools and scripting. Hope you like it.
Why is this lighting up? Oh shit, I'm going insane, I'm going insane, I'm going insane. Talk to me,
The
Louis.
editors themselves went through a lot of design changes during the development. Not that many in visual appeal as in internal stuff, like data structures and handling. This happened mostly because at the beginning we only knew the basic stuff that needed to be in them, and as they grew in features and functionality, they started to kind of fall apart. Mostly due to my big lack of previous experience in projects like
I'm
this.
guessing it's the lighting.
Right now, aloud, what the hell still sounds in my head when I look at some parts of the code, but I'm still proud of them. They can also get a bit buggy at times, but hopefully this won't happen again in the future. And I already got some nice ideas for the next iteration of the tools.
Oh, you're walking. I have no idea what to do. What the fuck do I do? I end up losing all my own motion. What the fuck? It opened? Oh, fuck. You're not scared me. Fuck, why is it shaking? Oh. I just saw a tin box in between here. Look out the way, you moron. Grab it. Grab the motherfucker. Oh, fuck, that shit don't need to be creaky. My leg hurts, I'm shaking too much. I need that oil. Gotta pick up this oil. Whoa. Damn, did my nigga drink so much? Hitting the Bucana though, who hard.
19th of August, 1839. I wish I could ask how much you remember. I don't know if there will be anything left after I consume this drink. Don't be afraid, Daniel. I can't tell you why, but know this. I choose to forget. Try to find comfort and strength in that fact. There is a purpose. God, one last thing. A shadow is following you. It's a living nightmare, breaking down reality. I have tried everything, and there is no way to fight back. You need to escape it as long as you can. Redeem us both, Daniel. Descend into the darkness where Alexander waits and murder him. Your former self, Daniel.
Oi. I am me.
Hello everyone, my name is Mikael, and I'm the writer for Amnesia, The Dark Descent.
Mika.
I think we can all feel the story kick-starting as we finish the letter from Daniel. The game itself is just filled with confusion, and I think we're really doing the player a service keeping it simple in the beginning. Basically try to take your revenge on Alexander, that is the premise of the game. You don't really need to dive any deeper than that, but hoping that the player will care about the story, they have the entire game in front of them to decide if they think killing Alexander is justified or not.
What the fuck? Why won't it go down? It's so spooky, fool. It's so spooky. He's on my own. Damn, I have no. Uh-oh. This video is my health. It's my sanity. It's my little diary. How many tinder boxes I've got. Alright, this time there's a little bit of a follow. Not Mark.
Hello, my name is Mark Nikander. I'm a 3D artist and level creator at Fictional Games. I started out as an helper during Penumbra Overture, and I was finally hired as a full-time artist in the later part of Penumbra Black Plague.
I don't believe I have. Is it connected to the... what did you call it?
The inner sanctum. My most precious chamber, Daniel. And it lies well beyond the refinery. In fact, it lies beneath the very stone of Brennenburg.
That means I'm in this place called Brennenburg. Alright. Let's go see what the fuck's down here. Dude. It is tough flying. It can't be torn by hands or toes.
This is one of the many hub levels in the game. And this is a design concept that we started out with in Penumbra. The idea is to give the player some freedom on where to go, but at the same time give a clear objective. In this level, the slime obstacle is a thing that the player needs to get past, and all other levels then have things needed to do so. The slime itself is one of the few puzzles left from the initial designs, and the one I'm probably the least proud of. Now that slime...
Actually, I think this is where it starts to actually get scary. Oh! Knock it down.
In early concepts, this was meant to be a sort of wine testing room and directly connected to the wine cellar. The reason for the whole wine testing thingy was that we planned on having more laboratories in later levels, so a lab here as well felt kind of strange. Then things changed and only one lab was left in the design, so we changed the name to laboratory instead. The whole wine testing facility that could make dangerous acid always felt kind of strange anyways.
Are you gonna pick one of these up, or you just... You hear the niggas? Some niggas crying out. This is my third attempt to produce artificial vitae. The former compounds lack the potency I need, but I sense I'm close. Calamine and orbitment are given in the fuck. I can't read any of this shit. The experiment was unsuccessful. The solution is highly acid and proves impractical to put to any use except as a detergent. Organic tissue reacts especially violent to the solution, and this should be handled with the greatest care. I may be able to use the receipt, but I always hope that I will find the alchemic solution to my predicament.
There should be more coop rats. Let me see. And one part aquafortis.
as long as I'm able to think of you and long for life together, I know I'm better than others as we wait for it. They thus were not with them, understood what to and create a fair judgment is safe return. So, I can touch the chair. That's it? Oh, that was actually something I needed. I picked up a canister. Can I leave it right here? Ticket. I just didn't get the chemicals. I'm scared. Nigga. Oh, hell no. Oh, I almost screamed. Like a whale. Oh, fuck. My nigga, that shit scared me. Get away from me. Fucking that. Who said that shit? That shit's boarded up.
If you haven't followed our development blog back when it started, you might have missed one of the biggest changes in our production pipeline. 2 years back, we started a toolset side project to ease and speed up the creation of content for the game. Let's say the level editor, which is what we, or more specifically James, Mark and Marcus, have used to build all the halls and corridors you are walking through right now, is the big start of the pack. Its workings in a nutshell, while all the models and assets are actually made in software like Maya or Blender, everything geometry-wise in the levels is put together in it. Then lighting and sweet details like decals.
Oh, hell no, bro. This is actually where I see the nigga. Fucking cat is moving.
May 1839. The unflinching African sun has continued to plague our expedition, making it impossible to dig until dusk. How Professor Herbert managed to find the location in these vast plains of nothingness remains a mystery to me. When I asked him about the tomb again, he told me about the legend of Tin Hanan, the mother of us all. An interesting story in its own right, but I can't help feeling there's more. Later that tomorrow.
Fuck, I got enough time to be this nigga talking.
This level was changed a lot, and I think it's one of the most tweaked levels that we got. Not only was it part of the big archives level that we had to split up, but it was also hard to get it engaging enough. The problem here is that we don't have any sort of fun mechanic that we rely on to make the game engaging. Instead, we rely on story, atmosphere, and environment. This is true for many other levels and the game as a whole, but this was kind of the one of the larger levels that we made, and also one that didn't have much puzzles and such. So when testing it, we quickly get bored with it, and we wanted to add more spooky events to spice it up. But then later on, testing proved that these events weren't that necessary, and we also felt that they were a bit lame and not fitting, so we decided to remove them. Then, the back part of the level, we wanted to make that a more linear experience, with the current player getting trapped and all, forcing the player to solve the destroy wall and find secret door puzzles. Previously, testers often missed that they can solve these problems. The level is now very different from the early designs.
Oh fuck, nigga. Fuck me, nigga, bitch. There you go. What the fuck? What's that? That ain't my buddy.
When I started writing, I had only outlined the framework for the story and the first few levels in the game design document, so I ended up finalizing a lot of material for the first levels, and then when those were done, we planned out the last 2/3. This had a funny effect since I had to not only cater to the story, but to stay true to the stuff I've written for the first levels. Usually you can go
17th
back
today,
and forth
the
while
crew was
writing and change things, but if you have already recorded voices, you really shouldn't because of the costs. So the first text really shaped the rest of the material in an interesting way, and made them matter in a way I hadn't thought about. I really like how this thickens the story elements, as I am able to jump back into the material and keep using and reinforcing certain concepts. Agrippa is of course the most extreme effect of this method, which grew from a small reference to becoming one of the most important characters in the game.
As soon as I see that nigga, bro, I'm ending the stream. Bro, fucking maps. Someone's playing fucking piano. No, she goes on me.
When I started writing, I had only outlined the framework for the story and the first few levels in the game design document, so I ended up finalizing a lot of material for the first levels, and then when those were done, we planned out the last 2/3 or so. This had a funny effect since I had to not only cater to the story, but to stay true to the stuff I've written for the first levels. Usually you can go back and forth while writing and change things, but if you have already recorded voices, you really shouldn't because of the costs. So the first text really shaped the rest of the material in an interesting way, and made them matter in a way I hadn't thought about. I really like how this thickens the story elements, as I am able to jump back into the material and keep using and reinforcing certain concepts. Agrippa is of course the most extreme effect of this method, which grew from a small reference to becoming one of the most important characters in the game.
shit looks like it's something floating. That's oddly suspicious. Is it time? That shit sounds like it's time. That shit low-key scared me. What the fuck? Oh, yeah, come on. Okay. I'm gonna let that shit run out. It's definitely time. Oh my god. Very delicious painting, guys. Nature. There's the key. The oil. Oh, the oil. There's one of that as well. Oh, no, I can't get out. Oh, shit. I think I'm gonna end this shit right here. I think I'm gonna end this shit right here. I got work in the morning. I'll say this shit right here. Shit, this fucking scary.